So today we're going to be talking about emotional and sensory design. We'll kind of start by briefly introducing both of these topics, and followed by some real world examples, just to make you understand how these concepts, just to demonstrate the impact of these concepts in actual real world scenarios or examples. And most importantly, we'll dive into how these concepts can shape our experiences with digital product using sound, visuals, haptics, to tap into our emotions. So would you like to maybe introduce the sensory design? We've been speaking about it.
So the sensory design is a part of like emotional design, but it's more focused on how the user feel about its emotions. So it can be with different things. For example, like the touch. When you touch things, like the feeling that you have, or like the sound, like what you view. Like a lot of different sense.
So it's not necessarily about the feeling, it's more so about what you sense.
Yes.
Right?
It's focused on that mainly. So I have I think a good example about that is like, so I listened a conference of a French designer. So it's her name is Régine Charvet-Pelot, and she designed the tramway for Tours, so in a city in France, and the focus was really to get like the user to have like a memorable experience. So for that, she has included different things in the tramway. So like at each station, when the tramway stops, there was a specific sound. So every time the user, like the person in the tramway stopped, like the sound of the station was different. So
it was like some sort of signal sound, or
yes, when they announce, the next station is.
Yeah.
And this was to have like another experience of the city. Like each sound could be related to where you are in the city.
Okay, that's
so
interesting.
It was nice for like the sensory aspect. And she also did like in the tramway. So depending on when you take the tramway, if it's during summer or during winter, you don't have the same feeling. Like maybe during winter, like the tramway, the doors open like every 2 minutes and you get cold. But she found a interesting way, I would say. It's like how you can feel, like depending on the light who is displayed in the tramway. So if the light is like a bit warmer, you will feel
a bit warmer.
Okay, yeah. And so she experienced that, and the results was like the people feel 2 degrees more, like the feeling.
That's insane.
When the light was warmer. So it's really like the emotional aspect of like how you feel, and the sensory. And one other thing that I can remember from the conference was like, the metal like bar, like the thing that you touch to don't fail.
Safety,
like, in the tramway, like it's in like metal, an aspect of metal, and like it's a bit wet, or like you don't really like touching that. Like it feels like not so clean. So she found,
depending who touched it before, I guess.
But just also the feeling, like if it's during summer, you will be a bit wet. So what she did was to introduce like also a metal, but with another like grain.
Yeah.
So the user didn't have the same feeling when it touched that. So it's like really small details, But I think it's also nice to have this like this aspect of like what is possible, especially like tramway. You take the tramway every day,
Every
like
day,
if you.
basically, yes.
So how you can change like by small things the experience, the global experience, and also how the user feels about that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder how she came up with these ideas. I wonder what was the thought process behind it. Yeah, that's very interesting. And actually, the warm light thing, it's a pretty cool, neat thing to know. I'm gonna use warm lights during winter.
No, but also during summer it was the opposite.
The cold light, right?
Like the cold, like blue.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. Wow. Okay. What's the name of the designer? Or
It's Regine Charvet-Pelot.
okay.
And she has an agency in France about like sensory design. So
Sensory design,
yes,
specifically sensory design.
So it's
okay.
Their specialty.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, I guess it's my turn to speak a bit more in depth about what is emotional design. So I guess to understand it better, well, sensory design is more focused on the senses, right?
Yes.
What we hear, what we see, right? What we feel, like the texture or the haptics and the haptics motor on your phone. Emotional design is more so about how we feel. So the term was first introduced by Don Norman. He wrote about it in his book called Emotional Design. Actually, the full title is Emotional Design: Why We Love or Hate Everyday Things. So it's basically that, right? So it's more so about how digital products, could be an object, could be whatever, makes you feel. And the idea is that good design kind of connects us on these three different levels. So the first level is visceral. It's our gut reaction to how things look. Like, this chair is hideous. That poster is beautiful. Then there's a behavior. So behavioral layer is more so about the usability. So whether you're enjoying actually using that product, does it make your life easier one way or another, right? Maybe it's like, I don't know, you have a nice remote that has like a nice ergonomics that, like you can hold it for hours. I don't know if you ever need a remote like that, but here is a product idea for whoever is listening. And then the last category is more about, it's called reflective layer. And it's more so about deeper connection, deeper personal connection. And a good example is our colleague, Dario. He doesn't buy car because why he buys car? Because he has a deep connection with the brand, right?
Exactly.
It's obviously he fell in love with the brand maybe because of the quality and the products that they sell, the type of clothing. Maybe it's his style, but it's gradually it became into part of his personality, right? And whenever Don Norman introduces this concept during one of his public talks, he's always using these 3 teapots as an example. So this one is designed by Michael Graves, Nana Glass. Cost €1,000 in here. But as you can see, so whenever he's describing visceral design, this is what he shows. It's just a beautiful eye candy. It's not even necessarily something that you want to use. it's more
So
so.
it's complex to use when you see it like that.
It really is. I think never had a chance, but I like. It's more so. It's more a home decor piece at this point, right? Then this one is a bit cheaper. The tilting teapot. So the good thing about it is the clever design. So this is the behavioral type, right? So whenever we tilt it sideways or horizontally, you see we have this separation layer. So we put the tea leaves in here.
Okay.
And then we put the water, we leave it there for 5 minutes, right? I don't know how long you should leave it in there, but 5-10 minutes, right? And then you tilt it backwards to its normal position. And that's the clever bit about it, right?
Okay, so it doesn't mix.
Exactly. And then this, whenever he talks about the reflective design, is this he refers to it as a joke teapot. It's just
you can't use it.
You can't really use it, right?
No,
it doesn't make sense, but it's designed in that way on purpose, just to start a conversation, right? It's a nice piece to have, just to entertain your guests, right? During dinner parties, it'll grab somebody's attention. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Just to summarize, it's more so what kind of emotion does the product evokes?
Yes.
Right? Whether it's physical object or digital experience.
And as you say, like with the example of our colleague Dario, with the brand, it's like it's a bit of a goal for a brand to someone feel like that about your product. So how can you like give this impression of your product to someone?
Yes. I think it's it should be a goal for a lot of brands. It's not easy to achieve.
No.
I think it's just. But okay, what's next for us?
I think we have some good example about like the brands who achieved quite right in the right way.
Yeah. Should we talk about the digital products?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so what examples you have prepared?
Which one? I think one, it's always the example that we have.
Yeah.
But Duolingo is really, really cool.
Oh yeah, it's beating a dead horse at this point. Let's keep on beating.
Like the streak, what emotion that you feel like when you see that it's improved, like every day you have a new thing.
Yeah.
But also something about sensory design as well, because they use the sound pretty well. Like every time that you win something or like you achieve, there is a sound. Like in the streets, if you listen someone doing Duolingo, you know it.
You'll know it. Yeah. As soon as you hear it, you know it. Yeah. Part of their brand at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, speaking of Duolingo, like actually I never it's not that I've never been a big fan or anything. I design digital products, so I do have a lot of respect towards them. I think they've built something exceptionally good. Considering the fact that they have like this insane fan base, really loyal people that, like even like Oscar had a moment, right, that he would always refer to his streak and how many how long is his streak, so people are talking about it, right?
People are making joke like, oh, maybe we should have that on the resume as well, like instead of having the level. So it's kind of part, like it's a big emotion.
Yeah, but I like before I used like yesterday I downloaded Duolingo. I was like, let's see what is the fuss. Previously I've been using Babbel for language learning, And Babbel has a completely different brand. So first of all, they present themselves as a more serious professional application, a bit more functional, and they're kind of leaning towards more serious learners, right? So their approach is they're not leaning as heavily on gamification as much as Duolingo does. They have insane gamification features, and they have leaderboards, and also they like social features. But Babel is a bit more serious, and whenever they are great with what I liked about the app is that whenever you make a mistake, they give you in-depth kind of summary of why. Like they explain you, they give you enough context to understand why it's not the right way of writing something or saying something. And me as a learner that constantly have a lot of questions, it's really like they are leaning towards functionality, and I really appreciate that. But I do have to admit that it's not as fun to do the quiz, and then right after you make a mistake, of course there's like they don't lean on the animations, and like Duolingo you have their mascot, the duo owl is there, smiling, and whenever you succeed, it's kind of cheering you on, and whenever you fail to answer a question correctly, it kind of scolds you in a playful way. So it's very it feels like you have a companion next to you, right?
Yes, and it's also super quick.
I
think that's something, I don't know how is it for Babel. I think it's a bit the same, but you have to fix like every day you want to do like 5-10 minutes now.
Yeah.
Yes.
The same onboarding. Yeah.
So yes, it's like there is some similar way, but it depends a lot, I think, about the target as well. Like
they just chose completely different target, and I understand why. But I think it's just for different type of people that appreciate different type of things. So obviously, if you are maybe if you want something beautiful and playful and cartoonish and fun, obviously it's gonna be Duolingo, and it's super addictive. It's it's gamified to like I've probably never seen an app that relies on gamification as much, and they're doing it in a really effective way. Whereas Babel is more so for people that they just care about learning, right?
Yes.
They don't care about all the fluff. It
seems more like professional in a way.
I guess it does. And they're also, you can't really use the app without paying. So they don't have like this freemium concept. So you need to pay. But yeah, another example that I wanted to kind of bring up was ClickUp and Asana. So because we used both.
Yes.
This one is going to be a brief one, but I think like whenever I complete a task on ClickUp, it literally feels like moving from status, from in progress to completed. Whenever I complete a task in Asana, it feels like ticking something off on my to-do list.
That's true, with the unicorn.
The unicorn is it's nice, yeah, it's fun. I don't mind it, but like the tick and that subtle animation really makes me feel good, like it's kind of addictive, right? Just you want to tick it off, whereas ClickUp, it just feels very
yes, because they also have added like multiple status, so it's not like done or to do, it's like to do, in progress, and a lot of like different status, so you don't have the feeling of like, okay, check, because you have to change the status in between. Yeah.
So in terms of that, like it's something that I really miss.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've transitioned to ClickUp, and I think that it's that feeling that I miss. It's not as fun. It's not as addictive. Completing tasks on ClickUp, because it literally feels like you're just moving between statuses, and it just feels very technical.
Yes.
And feel very human.
It was a bit tricky at the beginning when we changed. Like, we were, all of them was like, oh, okay, but we want to be back with Asana. But at some point, for me at least, after a few months, I was okay, but I really like this feature in ClickUp. So it's also the time to get to know the product.
Yeah.
And you change your perception. And now I'm sure if I'm going back to Asana, I will miss some features from ClickUp.
Of course. It's also about, you adapting to a new tool. It's just, it takes a lot of time. But yeah, those were my my experiences that I wanted to share.
Yes, for me, I think one of the big thing is like between Airbnb and Booking.com.
Oh yes.
Like this, for me, it's like quite huge, the difference that I have in between. I feel good about the two projects. Like, whenever I'm going to Booking or Airbnb, like, I know that it's fine. But when I prefer going to Airbnb, I think, especially more like if I plan my trip, like personal vacation, like, I feel more already in vacation when I'm on Airbnb. Like, the way they display everything is like, it's more like they want you to have an experience. And for me, when I'm going to Booking, it's more like, okay, I know that I have to book an hotel or room. Okay, I book it. Like, also they display, okay, there is 4 rooms left in this hotel at this date. So you feel a bit like, not the pressure, but like you have to book. But for Airbnb,
they do that.
Yes. Or like 20 people are looking at the hotel at the same time. Like,
that's Airbnb, right? Or no?
No, this is Booking.com.
Okay, yeah.
So they add like this type of like metadata to show, okay, maybe you should book now, because
I wonder how real is that, but that's another topic. Yeah, that's another topic.
Like the emotion that I feel, I'm like, okay, maybe I should book now.
Urgency, yeah.
And,
but that's also part of the strategy, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Airbnb is more like the vibe that I have when I go to the app. It's like, okay, let's see what you can experience in this city.
Yeah.
And let's book like a nice place.
Yeah.
And like, it's really simple, but for me it's like a bit different experience. Like, when they show on the map where is they show the prices, but once you select the place, they show like the house, like if it's your home for the period. Like, it feels like more personal, I would say, and that's something that I like.
Yeah. You mentioned the other day this feature with the badges and the places you've been. Can you talk a bit more about that?
Yes. So on Airbnb, every time that you go to a place, there is a badge added to your profile. So like, you can feel it's like a collection. You can bring a magnet from your trip, or you can have a badge on Airbnb. It's like a memory of, okay, I went there. And I don't know if they do that on Booking.com. You just have your past reservation, but it's not like,
no, it probably
it's not the same feeling. So sometimes I know that I have the choice to choose one or the other, but I prefer having my badge on Airbnb. So, like, it's something, as you said, with like, you are attached to the brand.
It's something personal. It creates like this deep personal connection. And whenever you visit your profile is it in your profile page, the badges?
Yes.
Or whenever you go there, you'll feel good, about all those trips that you've had. That's a cool feature. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Well, it's not that I don't use Airbnb, but it's I'm not as familiar as you are, just because it's usually my girlfriend plans the accommodation. So I haven't really used Booking or Airbnb that much myself. Yeah. Okay. I think we spoke about also the other day about the being strategic or actually knowing
Yes,
your
your
user
target.
user or yeah, the target, right? And being strategic with the emotions you want to evoke in your target audience.
Yes, I would have loved to find a good example about that, but I don't really have any project in mind. But the thing that I wanted to say, it's like we had the example of Duolingo with
Yeah.
all the animation and like all this animation takes time. Like in your user experience, of course you
Milliseconds,
have
but it takes, of
it takes
course,
time.
it stacks up.
But if you are working like we design SaaS products, maybe we can't put this energy like to have like animation in a way like the user want to do like things. So
Yeah.
if we start adding like this animation for to create emotion, that's not the good emotion that we will create.
I think it's a good cautionary tale because again, you need to understand who are you catering for.
Yes.
I think just mindlessly throwing all this fluff to your product, I don't think it's a good idea. It's just like even like for example, Asana example. They don't do it everywhere, right? They just they have this subtle
micro
tick animation
yes.
and done. They're not all over the place.
But you remember it. So
oh, I definitely remember it as I keep talking about it just because yeah, it's super annoying to complete tasks on ClickUp. So it's just, I let Frederick do it. So yeah, whenever I have to complete a task on ClickUp, I remember Asana.
yes.
Good old days. But yeah.
But there is a lot of way we can try to have like this good emotion
Yeah.
for the user. Also the copy when you work on the like the copy, if you want to be more formal, informal, talk directly to the user, like maybe you have to do that, like just the tone of voice.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
a big difference as well.
yeah, and actually something that I forgot to mention when doing Duolingo versus Babel comparison, it's what stuck out was also tone of voice.
How is it on Babel?
Very, very straightforward, very professional. A bit of playfulness there and there, but very sparingly.
Okay.
Whereas Duolingo is just
you are doing great.
You feel like you are playing a game.
Yes.
Which is nice. Obviously, that's why they have cult-like fan following. I think, but again, it's just it's a bit different when you're working on a consumer app. So consumer app, obviously our lives are packed. We have busy schedules, but usually, you will have an evening where you lay down on a couch or sit down and you just, so might as well do some Duolingo, right? And this is the time where like we don't need to rush anywhere.
No.
And this is a good opportunity to delight somebody. But then if you're at work, again, all that and all those animations will bloat your experience, and you don't want to wait till till the animation ends, or like you'd rather just focus on your work and get your shit done, and then if sometimes it's nice, but you have to be very sparingly so it doesn't disrupt your experience, right? Because at the end of the day, you need to be done with something, right?
Yes. But for example, Microsoft, they are really like professional tool. But
Yeah.
I know that I can't remember exactly what's the copy, but when I had I read all my emails, they say like, okay, now you are done. Like everything is read. Like the tone of voice that they use for the copy, it was okay. Now I'm done. So like that's something that also I remembered. Like I was, oh, that's a nice touch. I don't know if it's because we art designers, so
No.
we understand these small things.
We talk about it because we are designers, but obviously, like it's these small things, like will get stuck in your mind if it's presented at the right moment. And
Yes.
it's just yeah. I think that's the beauty in of design, a thoughtful design, right? And just doing the right thing at the right time. And yeah, not everything have to be boring. We should always try to provide our users with a right level, just the right level of delight. We work with software as a service companies, so obviously the story is a bit different, but still, whenever I work on visuals and there is a blank page with an empty state, come on.
You want to do
I
something
want
nice.
to do something nice. So at least for the split second, you see a nice, beautiful visual, as opposed to just white page, but text. Who wants that, right? Somebody won't care about it, but maybe a portion of people will feel good about it, will make them feel good just for a split second. And that's good enough.
Strategic.
Yeah. If you had to provide some tips to our listeners,
I think if you are like a designer, I would say don't try to do everything in one time. Like don't try to just okay, there is emotional design, but it's not the main focus of your product. So don't put like okay, nice animation everywhere now signed. Like be subtle when you are doing that type of thing, and keep in mind the user experience first.
yes, that's a great point. That's a great point. We kind of like a couple of months ago, we had to design a mobile application for home network management, right? And this is a good example of knowing your user's behavior, because we knew that app, 80% of the people will open that app once or twice a year whenever they need to look up their Wi-Fi password or whenever something is down. So you don't really want to just rely on animation or put a lot of effort on visuals and animations, and definitely you don't want to introduce sound effects in there, or even haptic features, because it's gonna go all to waste. So I think it's very important to understand, like in Duolingo's case, people are using it every day. They are making them use every day with the streaks. So obviously, because of that, you want to keep on delighting them with beautiful animations, nice visuals, beautiful sound effects, nice voice, friendly tone of voice with the copy and etc. But then there are just cases where it's not that it doesn't make sense, it's not even worth it for you.
That's true.
So yeah, well, thank you for today.
Thank you.
It was a nice talk. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for listening this podcast. Something that I will remember is the example of Modestas with the teapots on the Don Norman. I think that was a nice example for emotional design. And if you like this podcast, we have other episodes, so feel free to subscribe to our podcast on Spotify and other platforms.